Hey everybody, welcome back to Vedic Sage. I'm Dr. Dhaliwal, and today we're going to be talking about how to manage cholesterol from an Ayurvedic perspective. So I want to say right off the bat, cholesterol in itself may not be all that bad. And I'm going to make another video series later on down the line talking about the value of cholesterol based upon the notion of the cholesterol myth. But for the intent of this lecture, we'll talk about cholesterol being oxidized by the inflammatory cells, for example, the macrophages, which creates the foam cells and releasing fatty streaks, which promotes the process of atherosclerosis, and therefore we'll look at how Ayurveda manages this increased cholesterol level and therefore preventing the process of atherosclerosis. So thousands of years ago, these wise sages had a brilliant notion and insight into biochemistry. They were able to look at the two primary chemical reactions that take place within the body. The catabolic reaction, which is the breaking down of compounds into smaller ones and releasing heat, which is a catabolic reaction, which is thought to be governed by Vata dosha. On the contrary, they were able to understand the anabolic reaction, which is the building up of larger molecules or storing energy, and they looked upon this anabolic type of reaction as the influence of Kapha dosha. So Kapha dosha is heavily involved and influences the cholesterol levels. So Kapha dosha, as we know, has the elements of water and earth with the qualities of heavy, dense, cold, oily, liquid, and dull. And it's these qualities that beautifully express these fatty-like substances within the blood, be it the lipids, lipoproteins, triglycerides, and cholesterol. So our primary concern is the plaque deposits that take place within the vasculature through the process of atherosclerosis, which can decrease the blood flow and blood supply to the vital organs of the body. For example, decreased blood supply to the heart via coronary artery disease can lead to myocardial ischemia and a heart attack. Likewise, decreased blood supply to the brain because of cerebrovascular disease can lead to a stroke. Therefore, we can see how managing cholesterol levels is of prime importance for overall health and well-being. So thousands of years ago, these wise sages understood the role of the liver and the function of the liver in managing the cholesterol levels within the blood. And they considered this element Bhuta Agni, which is the Agni system within the liver, or the fire component within the liver that's expressing metabolism. So we know that the liver is able to synthesize cholesterol and release it into the blood via lipoproteins. And these lipoproteins happen to be low-density lipoproteins. Likewise, the liver is able to remove excess cholesterol from the blood system by taking up the cholesterol and releasing it into the bile and bile salts. So from an Ayurvedic perspective, and the understanding thousands of years ago by these sages, understood that the liver was the primary role in regulating cholesterol levels. Likewise, they had the great understanding to realize that the thyroid function has a huge impact on the metabolism of the peripheral cells or peripheral tissue. And due to this underactive thyroid or sluggish thyroid, for example, hypothyroidism, there's a decrease in the thyroxine hormones, which therefore results in decreased utilization of these fatty substances such as cholesterol from the peripheral tissue. And therefore, the increased storage of lipid or fatty substances within the fat tissue or the adipose tissue can therefore lead to an increase in weight gain or even lead to obesity. Therefore, Ayurveda takes into great consideration the function of the liver and the function of the thyroid in managing cholesterol levels. So therefore, apart from just managing one's diet, for example, reducing fatty fried foods and incorporating exercise into one's lifestyle, Ayurveda also considers cooking with onions and garlic will simply help to reduce the cholesterol level or simply help to reduce the viscosity within the blood and circulation. Also, you may want to consider certain herbs such as Chitrak, Chandraprava, Arogya Vardhani, Lasunadi Vati. These herbs will basically help to reduce the levels of cholesterol and stimulate the liver and thyroid function. Also, Ayurveda takes into account the use of honey with hot water. For example, if you take in 1 teaspoon of honey with hot water first thing in the morning before breakfast, this will also help to lower the cholesterol levels within the blood. And lastly, interestingly enough, Ayurveda talks about the importance of copper. Now we know that copper is a heavy metal and you got to be careful with it. However, they mention that if you put water into a copper jug and let it sit there for at least 8 hours and consume the water. This has tremendous health benefits, and I encourage you all to read up on this copper water and see the benefits of reducing cholesterol levels, improving cardiac function, stimulating the brain, reducing infection, and many, many other health benefits. And of course, you also want to take into consideration the benefits of meditation and yoga. Okay guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. This was simply just an overview of how to manage cholesterol from an Ayurvedic perspective that was understood thousands of years ago. Okay guys, until next time, take good care.